YouTube is home to some of the most creative, funny, and controversial figures to have ever graced the platform. But no creator caused as much chaos, stirred as much controversy, or made as big of an impact with sheer animosity as one man. LeafyIsHere, a man who built his empire on insults, jokes, and relentless hate. But what was behind the rise and fall of YouTube's biggest hater? In today's video, we dive deep into the story of LeafyIsHere, his journey to the top, the controversies that followed, and why he was ultimately banned from the platform. Born in 1995, Austin, better known as LeafyIsHere, first made waves on YouTube in the mid-2010s with a unique style of content: insult comedy, critique, and reaction videos. Unlike the family-friendly personalities that dominated YouTube, Leafy's approach was refreshingly edgy. His channel grew rapidly, particularly among younger audiences who were drawn to his no-holds-barred commentary. He quickly became known for his brutal, often borderline mean-spirited commentary targeting other content creators in the community. But it wasn't his criticisms of YouTubers that made him popular, it was his attitude, his irreverence, his complete disregard for political correctness. In a YouTube world full of vlogs and gameplays, Leafy was something different. By 2016, Leafy was one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. His videos would regularly rack up millions of views, and his fan base grew larger with each upload. His videos were fueled by high-energy rants, meme-worthy moments, and a fearless willingness to tackle any subject. Leafy was quickly branded as the king of roast content. He had an edge that nobody could really ignore. However, the rise wasn't without consequences. Leafy's commentary often crossed the line between roast and outright bullying. His videos became notorious for targeting YouTubers who were perceived as easy targets. One of the most infamous incidents involved Leafy's feud with popular YouTuber Keemstar. Keemstar, known for his own drama-filled commentary with Drama Alert, clashed with Leafy in one of the most public and bitter YouTube feuds. While some fans found their back and forth a bit entertaining, others saw it as proof that Leafy was more interested in drama than meaningful content. Another iconic beef that defined Leafy's time on YouTube was his ongoing feud with Pyrocynical, a fellow YouTuber known for his comedic commentary. The rivalry started innocently enough, but soon escalated into a bitter exchange of video responses, insults, and jabs. Pyrocynical, who had a more laid-back and sarcastic style, quickly became one of Leafy's favorite targets. The conflict became so intense that it even started dividing the fan bases, with Pyrocynical's fans accusing Leafy of using them as fuel for his content. The feud was part of a larger trend in Leafy's rise, going after anyone who dared to stand up to him or appeared to be an easy target. It wasn't just for fun, it was a way to gain views and grow his following by feeding into drama. But beyond the rivalries and drama, there was something much darker at play: Leafy's increasingly controversial content. As his channel grew, so did his willingness to go after people who had no way to defend themselves. He targeted not just other YouTubers, but also entire communities and marginalized groups. Leafy's videos often featured jokes about physical disabilities, mental health, and other sensitive issues, pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable under YouTube's community guidelines. His infamous cringe videos, where he would tear apart the content of small creators, became notorious for their bullying undertones. But this wasn't just about comedy. It was about exploiting vulnerable people for the sake of views. Many saw this as harassment, not entertainment. His content began to face mounting scrutiny from creators, viewers, and even media outlets. Despite this, Leafy refused to apologize, doubling down on his approach. One of Leafy's most infamous videos came when he targeted Pokimane, a beloved figure in the gaming and streaming community. In 2020, Leafy released a video mocking Pokimane, her appearance, and her personality. The video, as expected, garnered millions of views, but it also sparked outrage within the community. Pokimane, who had amassed a massive following on Twitch, responded by calling out Leafy's behavior as bullying and harassment. This incident brought new attention to the ongoing issue of online harassment, especially towards female creators. While some fans defended Leafy, claiming it was all in good fun, others saw it as another example of Leafy crossing the line from satire into outright cruelty. As the backlash grew, YouTube began to take action. In August of 2020, after years of pushing boundaries, Leafy's channel was permanently banned from the platform. YouTube cited repeated violations of its harassment and bullying policies as the reason for the ban. This wasn't just a slap on the wrist, it was the end of an era for one of YouTube's most controversial creators. The news was met with mixed reactions. Some celebrated the ban, claiming that Leafy's toxic behavior had no place on YouTube, while others claimed it was an overreach by the platform, arguing that Leafy's content, while controversial, was a reflection of YouTube's earlier, more chaotic days. Still, no one could deny the impact that Leafy's ban had on the community. It marked a turning point for the platform, a clear signal that YouTube was becoming more strict with its enforcement of community guidelines. Even after his ban, Leafy's legacy didn't fade away completely. He made a return to social media, including Twitch and other platforms, where he continued to stir the pot. But by this point, the landscape had changed. His style of content, which once thrived on YouTube, now felt out of place in a platform that had evolved in terms of both content and community guidelines. While other creators emerged who mimicked his edgy, confrontational style, Leafy's reign on YouTube had ended. His ban marked the closing of a chapter for a generation of YouTubers who had grown up in a time when pushing the limits was part of the fun. Yet Leafy's influence on the platform is undeniable. He helped shape a new era of content creation, one that would eventually be challenged by the very platform that gave him a voice. So what can we learn from Leafy's rise and fall? Perhaps there's a fine line between edgy and being harmful. While controversy can lead to massive success, it can also destroy your career if not carefully managed. LeafyIsHere's story serves as a cautionary tale, showing that while pushing boundaries is a part of what made YouTube great, there's a cost to using hate as your primary form of currency.